Alright, Steve Pitt here. This is from the Texas Observer. Texas has a water shortage and a water glut and the same problem. Every day the Permian Basin brings more water than nearby communities use, and treat most of it as waste. The state can no longer afford to do so. The Texas does not have enough water. Texas cannot give the water it has. Both of these things are true right now, and the dry stress of West Texas with the collide and turn the same problem. On West Texas, the problem is concentrated on old abandoned railroads has started spurring wastewater back into the surface on their own push up by pressure built down the ground. A water well on the property tests positive for benzene and other contaminants. The owners moved their herd and eventually sold it off. This is one of the versions where what happens where a place runs out of room for the water its oil field brings up. The true full scale that seen is hard to picture. The Permian Basin pumps roughly 6 million barrels of crude a day. It makes it products oil rich in the country. Those will lift up 7 barrels of water for every barrel. Around 2 to 3 average a million, more than it. As we'll say. But only 2025, that adds up to 22 million barrels of water a day across the field. So figure down as you can expect to climb another 39% by 2035. This is far more water than the city can nearby use. Surface a day is one of the driest corners of the state. Holding against the other headlines, Texas shortage water and falling behind with city and farms competing for the supply of the state opening expected rate. So the contradiction sits in plain sight. The basin brings up the ocean and Colorado anyways when the town's not far over the way west, which never go to tap. Or I guess that thought Texas sort of water falling behind with city farms competing for the supply. Okay, yep. Town and Colorado, so I town. Okay, for decades, the answer was simple. Operators put the water back underground in the disposal well and keep producing. And it worked as long as the rock kept it separate. Then the ground stopped cooperating, forcing the mud fluid into subsidies race. Pushing no forward. West Texas has seen a rising figures of earthquakes, including a magnitude quake nearly mid-tone in 2026. The strongest reason in record index. Regulator has since limited injections to the most active zones, which leaves the growing waste system for a few places to go. This is not to put the blame to the oil, but the argument gets drilling. Oil is essential to the Texas economy, and Permian is the largest single engine. The water is simply what comes up alongside, and the system was built around disposal because disposal was practical and cheap. It still is. Injecting a barrel underground still costs under $1. Claims that the same barrel for use outside the oil will run 7 times more. As much as $4 or $7 a barrel at the high end. The University of Texas Science named the deeper flaw, noted that underground space was treating something to raise feel whether the madness Texas is very good at making the water better, but never get good at understanding was the challenge now arriving. Here the story that concern the operator says the state commission sort of estimated that treated produced water could range the year 20 to 40 billion barrels a year to use outside the oil field that's costing them, and has pilot plants running in the Delaware and Midland Basin. Operators already recycle a meaningful share of water for the new wells than sent to dispose. Texas is starting to treat oil field water for lease into river streams, and 25 new water handed the state authority the right to discharge. The reason extraordinary state face real shortfalls turning waste and water is not only cleanup, it's a strategy. catch is that the science has to keep pace with the ambition, and the money has to be penciled out. Produce waste is not only one thing. Research cataloging more than 1,100 different chemicals, and many as trace level and many as never studied for health effect. While the federal drinking water framework set limits only about 90 contaminants, and it was written for treated city supplies. Now Brian off oil for, and as one water law scholar pointed out on to Inside Climate News, Clean Water Act enacted in 1972 never imagines the water flowing into the stream. Treating it for a known standard is one task. Treating to standards that do not yet know as this is the price that's going to compete cheap disposal than another. That is the conversation the text has not fully hand out loud. But not real, which is settled, not to blame, which misses the point. Well, the question is whether the stage of this can keep treating an ocean of difficult water get a ride that the byproduct industry can always become safe use. Get it wrong, and the Texas can trade one water problem to another. Either or, the chase is arriving faster than the old disposal model can handle. On the ranch, we had started the corrals the empties, the cattle moved off and sold at auction after water turned. Plug rail beneath still holding enough pressure to move needed to on the gates. Reminded that the selling a well with cement is not only the same as selling with what only the place is sitting atop with do not have the luxury of waiting. And here's the satellite of the aquifer line. That's those reservoir. Northeast Texas doing pretty good. And they went about south of I-37 and probably about west of San Antonio. Not doing so good. Everything else is running about 30 to 10%, 20% capacity. So yeah, West Texas is not doing so good. It's fine keeping up water supply. And here's the probability of rain or something like that. Northeast, East Texas is doing pretty good. Southwest not doing too good. Okay, reservoir mostly full scale for 2026. Okay, here it goes. Same thing. You can look at where it's getting deep red. It's probably about southwest of San Antonio, and probably around the Texas Panhandle of Armadillo. Look how dry it's getting. And here it is. What's we've got there? By the likely inches of rainfall, groundwater recharge. Okay, like I said, East Texas could go from 2.5 to 3 inches up to about probably about 1 inches. And look, the low solid tip. Not so much. Lucky you get about a quarter inch to about a tenth of an inch. And everything probably about most of the rest probably so for one area west of San Antonio, about the same thing. You probably get about mostly about half an inch to a tenth of an inch. and maybe, and except the one area where you can get about probably about 2.5 inch to about 3/4 inch. So yeah, but as far as anyway, I just kind of wondered why we can use some of that wastewater for all these days something they want to put up and use that little wastewater as cooling water. Don't have to worry starting the damn drinking water, and you can use that for like cooling water as long as the contaminant isn't caustic or flammable. That's my 2 cents on that area right there. Okay. Steve Pitt signing out.